welcome to another Evil Clown Slayer action figure review. Thank you for joining me again. For any of my repeat viewers, you know who you are and I appreciate you. So again, this is me dabbling into the action figure review content. So we're looking at another Mcfarlane toy here. This is a Dark Angel Intercessor of the Space Marine line. We have several of these gentlemen in the background here, and I kind of wanted to do a quick review and comparison of this one compared to the ones we already have. Obviously they're very similar, a lot of the molds are very similar, just different colors. But before I bust this thing open, I just want to give us a quick look at the packaging. Here's how they come packaged up. They're all very similar. Come with the figure, a backpack, a weapon or two. This one is sort of unique because his weapons are red compared to black for a lot of these other ones. We got the black and silver over here. Black and silver. Yes, this guy does not have the traditional chain sword like the other ones have, but he was a fancy gold version, so he came with a fancy sword with gold on it. But just a quick look at the packaging before we bust it open. From the front, I love that grim dark graphic on the side. Every single Mcfarlane Warhammer figure has that on there. I think it's so cool. Back, very similar to all the other ones. They have the graphic of the figure on the back, and then another graphic of the figure on the back as well. Alright, I'm going to pause this right here and open this bad boy up, and then we'll take a look at him outside of the package. Okay, and welcome back. And just a quick, just to give you an idea of what we just got done going through. There are about 9 of these bad boys that need to be cut to get this figure out of the package. It takes a little bit of work and can be a challenge to pull them out without damaging your packaging if you're trying to save it for any reason. You just gotta be careful. So reading from the Mcfarlane website, Dark Angel's Assault Intercessor Sergeant. This is from the Warhammer 40K brand. We're considering this an action figure. So here's the description we have for this particular figure. The Dark Angels are a dour brotherhood, characterized by their deep commitment to millennia-old rituals, loyalty, discipline, and self-sufficiency. They are a fighting force whose allegiance to the Emperor and his Imperium is nigh impossible to dispute. Yet few call them friends, and none know them thanks to their determined reclusiveness. Again, this is all on the Mcfarlane website. I'll put it in our description below with the link, so feel free to visit them. Maybe you can order one yourself. Incredible the product features. Incredible detailed 7-inch scale figure based on the Warhammer 40K franchise. Designed with ultra articulation with up to 22 moving parts for full range of posing. Dark Angel's Intercessor comes with a chainsword. You should be able to see that guy here. Plasma pistol is slightly different than some of the other figures. And a base, which they all come with. To be honest, for most of these Space Marines, the bases are pretty pointless. They do stand very well on their own. I'll talk about that in a minute, about this particular figure though. In a themed window box, the figure is showcased in a Warhammer 40K themed window box packaging, which we saw just a few minutes ago. Collect all additional Mcfarlane toys, Warhammer 40K figures. This particular figure is available on Amazon.com, Walmart, Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Store, and Mcfarlane Toy Store. So that is it for the website. And again, look in the description for links. I'll try to throw a few links in there for where I got mine, and then the actual Mcfarlane website if you want to see where it comes from. So first thing, just looking at the guy, he looks pretty good. I do like his look overall. One of the first things that I noticed, even before I was able to pick him up, just looking at pictures and everything, he's the first Space Marine with this particular layout anyway. We're not counting the Chaos Space Marine because he's kind of a little bit different. And then also the that scout guy, the Ultramarine scout guy. But he's the first of these traditional Space Marines that have a helmet that matches the rest of their armor. Now it's a little thing, but to me that looks way better. I get that the red might indicate assault, and the blue might mean devastator, or the white might mean sergeant, or yellow gold might mean captain. But I just love the traditional look of the armor matching the helmet. To me, that's just the way it's supposed to be. But again, I'm not a lore fanatic. I don't know much about the whole story on why all the helmets all don't match. Obviously, you can tell by me just kind of rambling about it. I know there were some points to it, but in this particular case, I just like the way this one looks. Now, for this particular figure, I had a couple issues. So far, they've all been almost exactly the same. These first 4 that I received up here, all great, no issues. This one, I pulled him out of the package, and I was having a hard time with some of his ankle movements were not as good. I was actually worried he was not going to stand on his own without the base. Not a real big deal. Again, if I needed to, I could pull the base out. But, and it's hard to describe. It's not that they're stiff, they just don't want to hold their position the way that they're supposed to, or the way that some of the other ones do. Just as a quick example, these ones will hold their spots. This one he just has a harder time. I don't know, he's pushing back in some way, where it's making him want to lean forward a little bit, where he almost wants to fall back. I don't know, he wants to fall backwards. Another thing I was kind of annoyed by, because this particular guy, I like to use these things for stop motion, but this particular guy, his arm is very loose. Not sure if it's just this particular model, but this particular guy holds his arm up without any issues. This one will not. Very loose. Very annoying. It's going to cause issues for me later, because again, I'm hoping to use him for some stop motion. And this will make my life a lot more challenging. But other than that, he does look awesome. Like the big winged helmet. One of my grievances, I wish they would have painted this. Kind of annoying to me. Every other Space Marine with that particular... These are all borrowed molds. They're all the same molds for the most part. They all have that little piece painted. Pops a lot better. This one does not. Not a real big deal, but kind of on the annoying side to me. I do like that he's got some chapter-specific markings on here. So like our Blood Angels, we got the little blood drips. He does have his little sword for his Dark Angels symbol. We see that repeated a couple different spots. Actually, looking at this, it could easily be the same exact mold and piece, just painted differently and plastered in a different angle. This guy does come with a little book attached to his belt, which is original. That's the first. None of the other guys have that. And it does have the same repeated sword logo on there, which is kind of cool again. Something a little more original. And again, another sword here, repeated all over. And we also have these fancy little wings on his helmet. Fairly unique to the Dark Angels, I believe. There's plenty of other Space Marine chapters that have things that come off their heads for different reasons. I think the Night Lords do something similar to this, but they're more bat wings versus these angel wings. It's cool to have something slightly more... It stands out compared to the other guys that we already have, where their faces are all basically the exact same, just different colors. One of the things that has been driving me a little nuts with these particular characters, all of their swords come slightly crooked. It's not real obvious in the photo or the video here, but that is definitely not straight. Not much different from this one. This one I've been playing with quite a bit, or working around with, doing some stop motion and stuff, so I've kind of tried to bend it back so one's not too bad. This guy I haven't used with, or haven't messed with too much at all. Same thing, you can see it's pretty not straight. This guy is really bad. This power sword. It's hard to see, but it is very bendy and not very straight. Now he does come with a at least some original looking weapons. I do like that they're different color. We got the red. It stands out quite a bit better compared to his armor than if it was the black. So it does get a little more pop. I do like that. Let's see here. I was going to say, as far as like just him standing out, I just like him overall because he does have a lot of chapter specific icons on him and everything like that. Where if you're looking at Ultramarine Boy over here, Ultra Smurf, whatever you want to call him, everyone will call these guys the Smurfs. If you spray painted him black, he would look like any other Space Marine out there. You cover up his iconography, you would never know what chapter he's from. Kind of the same for the Raven Guard, same thing. If you cover this up, you would never know what chapter he's supposed to be out of. I do like that about the Blood Angels. They get the little teardrops, or blood drops. And again, repeating with this guy, we got some specific molds for this particular figure. The only other thing that's really different from him, other than the molds and the book, is the shoulder pad is quite a bit bigger than everyone else, which I kind of like. I feel like that's like, if I was running into a bunch of fire, I'd be running shoulder first, trying to block my face, shooting as I went, try to protect my pretty face as best I could with that little flap here. That's kind of cool. I don't know, I've always liked seeing stuff like that, just something to give him a little more character and stand out a little bit. Again, not a lot of grievances with the sculpt and the paint of this guy. He looks good. Again, I'm annoyed by, that might just be my particular character, I'm annoyed by how loose this is. And again, his ankles are not the best. This is, again, I usually try to attempt to do some kind of stop motion, including these particular guys. The guy I'm talking about, but it may be a challenge, so if it's a little clunky looking, you'll know why, because just weak. It's annoying, because again, every other one so far, great. But that's about all I have for you. Thank you for watching. Appreciate any likes. Feel free, or I would encourage you, and please hope that you do, check out some of my other videos, whether they're reviews or my stop motions especially. Those are only about a minute long each, so go through, watch some of those, give me some likes. Helps me out. Again, appreciate your time. Evil Clown Slayer out.